Hey guys, so today we have I think in the company she's my coach lah. Yeah. So a little bit backstory. I'm the client of this property investment company called Far Capital, and that's how I met Miss Rena right here. And she is your position in the company is head of.
Head of mortgage.
So head of mortgage, right, is the person who is in charge of all your loan submissions and making sure that your loans get approved when you do property investment lah. Okay, so she has absolute access to what I'm buying currently. Very exciting. So she's the one that I go to when I want to buy more. Okay, so welcome, Miss Rena, to the show.
Thanks for having me, Sean.
Why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
You guys can call me Rena. I don't have any YouTube channel like Sean. I share a lot in my Facebook. It's called Rena Choong. You guys can search it. Other than that, I do have my own Telegram channel. So I share a lot of more too is the content writing. So video sharing, so far I haven't do it yet.
Soon.
Okay.
Soon. It's coming soon.
Learning from Sean. Okay. I think basically I in FarCap for close to 4 years. 4 years. But I started not with mortgage. So basically the journey here is that I was graduated totally from a different, not banking, as a pharmacist. Okay.
That is what caught me by surprise, like when she started out, she's a pharmacist. Then I'm getting advice from her from loan submission matters. So okay, how did you get into property? Right.
So it's quite a long journey to say lah. Graduated overseas in Glasgow, and then I worked there for 2 years before I came back to Malaysia. So when I reached back to Malaysia, basically I don't know what I want to do. I wanted to try something new, but it's still related to pharmacy, but not those we call it the community pharmacy, which is Guardian, Watson, or. So I met Faizal Rizwan lah. Used to be my sifu. I attended his sarjana hartanah. So I met him, and then I sent in my CV.
Hey, what for you, really?
Actually, how it started is I just wanted to start my property investment journey. So even though last time in UK my salary is quite good lah when you convert back to ringgit Malaysia, right? 5 digits. Easily you can own any properties in Malaysia, but I didn't take any action. So the fear is that I don't know where to start. So I need to look for a sifu, right? Guru. So I met Faizal. And then we have a quick chat, and then he conned me and framed me.
No lah, don't say that lah. So now who's the property millionaire?
And I actually initially wanted to try for 6 months lah with Far Capital. I started actually with research in Far Capital. My ex-head of research teach me how to look into the property market. That upon a time we don't have this MRT tool. It's not.
It's way beyond that.
So we were running actually research a lot of those MRT, LRT upcoming, and a lot of data. Then slowly 6 month journey with FarCap end ready. And when you already focus in this pathway or journey already, you don't search for other job.
Yeah.
So eventually I'm still here until today. That's surprisingly. But for me, even though it's a totally different journey, but I think these 4 years is really something that beyond my expectation. I didn't know that I can do this, achieve this, and really how to say you put whatever you learn into a real practice. Yeah.
So a little bit of backstory. The context of this company that we keep referring to is called Far Capital. And I'm a premium client inside lah. Okay, I didn't know I was, but I am. So this is a company where they help people do purchase, and they deal with they do negotiation with property developers in exit and things like that, right? And what I like about their team, actually, it's about the research. In the channel, I keep telling people to invest, before investing, to do research about 20 different properties before concluding into one. And a lot of people give up in the third one and the fourth one because it's just too much work. So they have dedicated teams to really just manage the research part. Where are the latest stations? What's going to happen? What's the rental for 1 bedder, 2 bedder, 3 bedder within that 5 kilometer radius of the property that you're going to purchase, and the guesstimate of the rental that you're going to receive when you get a unit, fully furnished, not fully furnished, then the strategy on how to maximize your rental and things like that, all are provided by the team. Not only that, right? When the biggest problem when we buy property is not whether you want to buy or not, it's whether can you buy or not, right? That is where her specialty comes into play lah. Like my question is then, how did you get so good in mortgage? Like how I personally I'm having a tough time, that's why I have you lah. Where do you get updates and about the latest news and things like that about mortgages?
So first 6 months in Far Capital, I started basically just doing a lot of research. I was totally no knowledge, no idea with property at all when I started 4 years ago, comparing right now, like leading a team.
Yep.
So 6 months research. After that, I went into another department. It's called the client relation. So what we mean by client relation is the intimacy and the customer service. You deal a lot with the clients. So what sort of question the client asks you, you at least need to study it, and then you answer accordingly, even though you don't know. So from that, I get to learn a lot.
Okay.
So I think that department, basically, I stay for like 6 months. I practice and learn for 6 months. Then the next one, I moved to mortgage, which is until today. So if you ask me where I basically learn from, I would say it's the networking. Imagine on a daily basis, you are talking with your clients, you are dealing with the bankers, you are dealing with the lawyers, and every day your daily job is surrounding with property data,
property announcement, property info.
Which bank can do this project? What is the valuation? What is the up-to-date policy in terms of this bank? Automatically, you already get to be updated. So this is how I learn.
So like because during lunchtime also her phone stopped. Her phone call right non-stop one. So like on a month basis, right? How many loan applications are you submitting?
Wow. This one, I think close to billions, if you ask me, for the past 4 years transacted. But on a monthly basis, because we do have a KPI where I talk to the SPSI or the loan approved. So average, I would say 30 to 40 cases SPSI per month that we processing. So it's the volume is crazy. On a daily basis, myself and my team studying or looking at the cases, easily also 40 to 50 lah.
Yep. So that just shows, right, like how much she's breeding loan applications, and I think she will be the best person to like. What are the common mistakes like people do to get their loan application rejected lah? So what are those common things?
I think how to say common mistake is actually quite a lot.
Okay, maybe we can name like the top 3. Maybe the top 3 mistakes.
First one. We started with I think we start with under construction properties first.
Can.
Which means is yet to complete. Is still at the stage of building it. So a lot of clients will ask, why you submit my profile to this bank A instead of bank B or C? Why don't you submit to more banks? This common question. Then actually, when you look at a certain profile A, it doesn't mean it's same as profile B. So for example, I might be a makan gaji person, a fixed income earner. So the bank that actually favorable towards myself is not the same as, for example, you are at the category of a commission earner. So what we mean by commission earner is that on a monthly basis, your income actually variable one. You are not earning a fixed monthly income.
Okay.
So not many banks actually favorable towards this kind of income segment. So I can't send your profile, commission earner, to the bank that not favorable towards your segment.
Oh, this is, I didn't know. I also, banks got favoritism towards income categories. Huh?
Yep. And this will bring also to the next one, the percentage of the income that will be recognized by this bank. So I mean, they don't have a policy to say that I don't want to do you commission earner, I reject you upfront. They don't have this thing. But when you look into their income calculation, so let's say this bank A can take 80%.
Okay.
But when you go to bank B, they only recognize 50%. So you got a haircut 30% there already, wasted. So this is one of the reasons. Second one here is that when you buy under construction properties, not that all the bank can do one. A, B, C, D, E, Bank Harimau, Bank Sotong, all this. It depends whether this particular project got enrolled this particular bank as their end financer, we call it, the bank that can give the financing for these new properties. So if let's say, example, these properties, the end financer is quite, it's not strong then your profile also not strong. So when you submit it, not strong plus not strong, the result confirm turn out to be
not strong.
Yeah, lor.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of we call it the criteria that you need to look into it before you trying to submit your own loan to the bank. Because you have to remember also, you submit to bank A, and then this bank A rejected you, there will be a record there. So easily for the next 3 to 6 months, you better not to submit to this bank lah. Be cautious.
So this proves that, like, because a lot of audience also ask, right, like now because not many of them will pre-qualify themselves in terms of loan. They don't check, then like, okay lah, try first lah. Right? Always they walk into the sales gallery, ayo, too good already, right? Yeah, the camera guy also just booked a unit. So so he booked, right? Then I go and try loan, but then if they gonna rejected, right, it leaves a mark, right? So
Correct.
It affects the loan application for the next one.
Correct. And especially if you submit without even checking your own, we call it your financial report, CCRIS or CTOS report. So some of us might not aware that we do actually have, we call it the blacklisted record or the bad record. So for example, the common mistake one is PTPTN. So graduate tend not to beratus bulan also, I saw it before in CCRIS. So this one is actually, we call it the repayment issue already.
Okay.
Even though it's not categorized under the legal record, but it's more to the, we call it SAA, Special Attention Account. It's not that bad as the legal record, but it's still bad because overall it affects your credit scoring. So a lot of people also don't know what is credit scoring. So for example, your income is actually allow you to buy this property. So your income you are eligible for this property. But one thing is the credit scoring profile. Before the banker even submit to the credit your loan, after they key in everything, your income, your personal details, first thing they will run, we call it the credit scoring.
Okay.
So different bank has got different credit scoring lah. So this credit scoring will actually look at your overall profile. What is your client current employment? Are you a diploma or degree holder? Where are you staying? And then of course, the most important, your CCRIS record. So let's say if you do have a special attention account, blacklisted, legal record, or your credit scoring will sure koyak already.
Okay.
So even though, let's say, eventually because your income can sustain you to buy this property, but your credit profile is quite weak or koyak, your interest rate given by the bank
will be increased.
Because
your risk increase.
I mean, as a bank, I still want to give you loan. I want to earn money. But I'm not comfortable with your profile.
Okay.
So they increase the interest rate slightly a bit. I mean, if let's say they still want to give you a loan.
Yeah. So there's a saying that CCRIS reports renews every
15th of the month.
Every 15th of the month. And how many? Oh, okay. So it depends on when you want to submit the loan, right? So I look at loan application like submitting my own report card to the teacher. So
Teacher.
I will engineer my report card to a certain extent that is presentable. Then the teacher will want to give me, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
so that is what her department is absolutely good at.
Correct.
So then, okay, when we have the common mistakes, right? So I think because currently a lot of people main income not tak cukup already, then they are working side incomes. So how do they declare their side incomes and things like, and how are those calculated in the eye of the bank?
This case scenario, a lot of examples. For the first one, you are currently actually a fixed income earner. So which means every month you earn the same income, contoh 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. And then on top of that, like your example, you selling properties. So you are a part-time agent. Okay.
And this is just example. I'm not selling any property. Okay. Yeah, just okay, part-time agent.
So just take an example fixed income earner working as a government servant. Okay. So this one really makan gaji kau. At the same time, you sell properties outside, doing part-time. So you have a fixed income punya gaji. At the same time, you do have a
commission.
We call it the payment voucher, the commission basis. Commission first one, we are looking at least the latest 6 months. And then we dilute it looking at the average, how much you are earning.
Okay, so the last 6 months one, maybe I close 2 deal, average maybe 40,000. Then the 40,000 will be divided by 12. Something like that.
Still divided by 6 months. We look at the latest 6 months.
But average out
but back to just now the one that I mentioned, different bank have different percentage recognized. So it might be in the range of 50% all the way up to 100%. Yeah, 50 to 100. So it's a big.
Okay, so the 50 to 100 here, I think for those who don't understand, right, it means 50% of that income can be recognized as the part of calculation for the loan.
Plus your fixed income job that you are having.
Okay, so let's say my annual salary, my monthly salary is 5,000, then 60,000 for 6 months, then divide by 6. So it's 10,000. So it's then the bank might declare only 50%. So it means 5,000.
5,000.
So your income to be calculated for this loan submission will be 10,000.
5 plus 5. But another concern here is that whether the bank want to recognize your part-time income earner job or not, the commission. Then this one is also depends how we actually submit your case. We write the report, how we mitigate. If let's say you started this commission income just 6 months, and when the credit asks for the proof of latest 12 months, they will have this, and you can't show it. So some of the credit might not accept your part-time income. They will just reject like this, and they take just the fixed income. So there might be also another scenario where we are looking at referring to the latest 6 months, but you only manage to give us 1 month payment voucher. But if let's say normally the scenario here is that later 6 months, you really like every month you do have a consistent part-time income in, then that one, the chances for you, the credit to take to recognize is quite high.
Okay.
But if let's say like just 1 or 2 months, is quite hard also.
Okay. No, so it's okay to be very real, because I think a lot of youngsters who are watching the channel, right, I encourage people to work really hard on top of their day job, like their 7 to 11 o'clock, right? A lot of time. So I encourage them to do a lot of things, but just that they don't know how to declare this kind of income. Like for example, freelance, right? At least get a payment voucher, like you said. Then ensure that it's banked in, not cash. So there's a payment record. So when you prove to the bank, right, there's a payment voucher, there's a transaction that happened, then you can tell them, oh, this is my side gig and it's pretty regular. Then there's a higher chance for things to happen, right? Then another question will be a lot of audience also, because this one is really out of my league. Government loan versus commercial loan. Like what are the differences and things like that?
Government, commercial.
Like the normal commercial means that the normal loan that I that apply
Oh,
lah.
you mean Bank Harimau, Bank Sotong
yeah,
versus
yeah.
LPPSA government?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So can you like explain what is LPPSA to people who don't know?
I also not expert in terms of the government loan now, but just a little bit sharing. LPPSA is a loan actually given if let's say you are a government servant. So basically you can get 100% loan. So for example, if you are referring to a commercial loan, your first residential will be 90%, second also 90%, and then the third one 70% and below. Okay, if you're buying residential. Okay. But when you submit to LPPSA, you will get 100%.
Even on the third one?
It depends how you
submit lah. Okay.
utilize it. So for example, this is actually a tips really.
Okay.
So imagine right now I'm a government servant. I'm buying my first property using LPPSA already.
Oh, okay.
So yes, I can get 100%. And then second one, I'm using a commercial bank. So buying residential. So I already pakai my second 90%. No? So the third one is 70% if you're purchasing residential. But if you terbalik the sequence, imagine now, your first and the second properties, you are using a commercial bank. 90%. And the third one, only you utilize your LPPSA, you can still get 100%.
Cool. That's so cool, man.
Yeah. So
Hey, if husband and wife both also government servant can buy both.
I actually read a content in my Facebook on this. How should you actually arrange?
Yeah, so I will put a link down below on her Facebook. You can go and read because she writes a lot, but in BM, right? Right.
In BM, majority in BM. Bahasa Melayu. a lot of clients actually ask me lah. I mean, before they even look into my video or talk to me live, in the sharing session, they thought I'm Baba, but I'm Chinese. The reason why I like a lot of content in BM because Bahasa Melayu, majority of my clients are Bumi purchaser, so the content will have more, I would say, engagement and interaction lah. And even when we do sharing session or live in Far Capital, our clients actually prefer to be in BM.
Of course, our main language.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Then, coming to the articles that you wrote, right? You wrote one about why we should buy now, right?
Why we should buy now.
The one that you say that it's going to... Okay, for those who are more optimistic about the property condition currently, right? We are very bullish on the property scenario right now, and that's why she's my PIC in the company lah. So she will then she write like why buy now because like the interest rate is low.
One of it. Yep.
And then currently the approval rates for banks are way better compared to the first MCO.
If you compare the latest 1 year, yes, but if you compare to the data to the latest 5 years, no. In fact, approval rate dropped a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, the overall the market. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. But I'm still getting the margin that I want. So yes. Then, what else? What did you write about? Yeah, I forgot what did you write about.
First one, of course, is interest rate. So when you look at the past, I think 20 years, interest rate has never been as low as today.
Yep.
If your credit profile, everything cantik, okay, you don't have bad record, we can get as low as 2.95.
Oh, wow.
2.95, if you are
It's
less than
almost
35
PTPTN,
years old, you still get a loan tenure of 35 years, way. Mana ada one loan can give you 35 years, 2.95 interest stretch into 35. You don't have.
Yep.
It's only housing loan. So lowest among, I think for the last 20 years, 2.95 to 3.2 interest rate. Right now we can get housing loan. Second one is a freebies given by the government.
Or the HOC.
The HOC. Home ownership campaign.
Yeah, it's really... Do you think it will be revised on or extended on June?
So far, not yet, because the due date is actually end of May this
next
month.
Yeah. So
far, not yet. I hope lah.
Yeah lah. Those in the market, please extend, right? But then we don't know, really don't know. But we can. I read the newspaper today. MRT 3 just got announced. And I'm very excited because it's very close to my investment unit. That's right. Yeah. So sorry, is that your third point?
Third point, if you follow Faisal, actually, we call it right now is the what's the doom, is it? The market the market cycle. So right now it's actually the bottom.
Oh, the bottom of the chart really lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone, I mean not everyone, those that actually struggled punya investor.
They bought at the peak.
Correct. And right now can't rent it out.
Yeah.
Especially if the location is targeted those expats not here. Okay.
KLCC ones are.
I don't know.
No, it's okay for you to be polite, but it's okay for you to be very, very honest. Yeah, I think this is a pretty big thing, right? Like 3 years ago, where a lot of people still think that property market is going to be the best thing, right? Unfortunately, no one foreseen pandemic. Unfortunately, also no one foreseen lockdown. Last time, you guys sure still remember the first impression, like lockdown. What does it even mean, right? But now we know. And then only we understood like tourism-based properties, right? Then it's not healthy to calculate your returns based on Airbnb rates. I think it's very, very dangerous to do so. That's why a lot of homestay operators also all gone case. But I think they didn't lose. I don't know. I just feel sorry for them because bad timing.
Correct. So those that actually can't sustain, they want to dispose it now at the price that they really can cepat-cepat let go. So people like, if you are ready right now, this is the time for you to go in when everyone you can get a really quite
a good price
lah. You can bargain. Same go to I think developer, because the economy, the market is not doing so good. They tend to give more rebate or discount.
Yep. I think it's so. Yeah, I think this one is pretty well known lah.
Yeah. So plus the HOC, you already save on the MOT, and people like me already currently LTV 70. Any project under HOC, if I apply it to a certain bank, not all bank can do, you can get 80 to 85% instead of sticking to 70%.
Yep.
So the capital that I need to fork up is some even is zero, even though right now you're LTV 70 like me. So for me, it's really the golden time, the golden opportunity. These three things to invest right now.
Again, LTV 17 means they can still get 70% margin when they apply a loan. So because it means that she has more than 3 properties. Anyway, so if that happens, then with the rebates and things like that, we still get to leverage on whatever financial support or services that is in the market provided by the developers and things like that. So if you really know how to play the game, right, and you take the right calculation in your risk, it's a very safe bet, man. Because I think their team, right, is very strict towards the rental calculation. Right? That whatever drives their guesstimation, right, it's really rental rates surrounding rental rates.
Because we do have one of the 7 criteria. One of it is multiple rental options, MRO.
Yep.
So our target punya segment has never been Airbnb, just one segment. No, we never, just like you said. What if one day like this lockdown, and then KLCC, you can't target those Airbnb. I mean, the rate right now when you look at Airbnb KLCC rental is actually dropped.
Yeah. Actually, it's a good time to go staycation.
So we have multiple rental option. You can rent it out per room, per whole unit, and then per kepala, and then Airbnb. So it's multiple. You can't just target on one segment by itself. And the most right now, I think everyone heard of it, co-living. So it's the latest rental strategy that we are practicing.
So right co-living is one of the companies called what? Your Utopia. Utopia, it's one of the new initiatives also by their company about co-living. So they believe that in the future everyone will have a preference over getting rooms but then living in a community together, right?
Yep.
And so it's a win for tenants, it's a win for owners and investors and things like that lah. Okay, so if you want to know more, I'll put a link down below later, but I have more questions to ask. So okay, I get this question a lot, especially from heavy property investors, IHC. So it's an investment holding company, right? Let's say if I'm buying my 7th or 12th property, would it make sense for me to form a company, and what's the difference between me buying it under my individual name versus a company?
The obvious one here is that investment holding company is technically you are buying this property under this company name, which is your IHC investment holding company. So it's the SPA will be under your company name already instead of your individual name.
Yep.
So when it comes to this scenario, the margin of finance, the one that we mentioned just now,
it's not 90% anymore.
Yep. Instead of first, second, you get 90% if you borrow under individual name. First, second, 90% mah. So right now under IHC, if you buy residential, maximum 60%. 60.
Really?
Yeah.
So low one.
Yeah. So the capital that you need to file is quite a lot, 60. Unless you really can find a property 40% discount lah.
No lah, but I think these people, they will buy cash on it. They don't really need that. But then what's the benefit of buying under a company then?
It's more to the tax.
I can declare not on individual names.
Correct.
Oh.
But if you're using the IHC to buy shop lot commercial, I think it's a better way to do it because you still able to get 80 to 85% margin. So not so bad.
But see.
If you are planning to use IHC to buy residential, then it's not really a good move. Because when it comes to IHC, especially if you purposely want to transfer your assets from your individual to IHC, this IHC you will have to maintain it on yearly basis. Auditing, all these fees.
Then does it require like 3 years before you can like that?
Subjective, it depends on the bank, but I would say at least 2 years.
To show that this company is running on, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so for those who have asked this question a lot of times, so there's pros and cons. It depends on what you want to achieve ultimately. So I think it's just a tool. We have seen individuals having more than 20 properties, 30 properties under one name, and then we also have people like buying under companies and things like that. So it's not a problem at all. Just that how you want to play the game lah. Then there's a saying about don't follow the bank but follow the banker. Is it true? Like
for me, both are equally important.
Both are equally important.
Why I say so because if let's say your profile overall is okay one, then you submit your case to a banker that you yourself haven't met before, you never talked to this banker, then this banker also never update you frequently what he or she doing with your documents. You will be quite concerned, right? So it's just like a experienced investor versus a beginner investor.
Oh, okay.
Because banker A process your profile might be different from banker B process your profile. Because we need to write the report, the story
So you need to justify the case lah.
Yes. So banker actually play a very important role.
In 100%, how many percent do you think that bankers play? 50%. Whether your loan approved or not?
Not until 50 lah. Because imagine unless you are really rely on the banker to look at your case 100%. So for example, if let's say you don't know how to calculate your own DSR, debt service ratio, you don't know how to look at your own CRIS report. So you walk into a bank branch and say, I want to look for this mortgage advisor, I want to submit my loan. You just walk into any branch like that. So from the scratch, this banker will have to look at your profile, calculate your loan eligibility, and then until the end of the process to submit your case. So that one, I would say then the banker do majority of the job.
Okay.
But when you look at really dissect it into a different flow already, then a lot of the things actually at the beginner you can try to do it yourself already. At least to check what is your current DSR and how much you're eligible for. So for
Okay.
example, if let's say your loan right now maximum can go up to 500,000, then takkan you want to go to see those property 800,000, 1 million, right? Unless you really have a capital.
But people go and see, man. Yeah.
For fun can lah.
So, but there's a danger to that lah. So like, what I tell people is to first one is to set up your intent, the 4 basic steps, right? Second one is to like find out how much you are eligible for loan. I think that's very, very important, and you can calculate it yourself. I think there's a lot of YouTube channels, a lot of Facebook channels that teach you how to calculate your own DSR. But then like how much you can afford will affect what kind of properties that you will be looking at. Like I keep looking at 1 million, but I can only afford 400,000. Nothing wrong with 400,000. Just that the expectation, because you keep visiting 1 million property, then you go and see a property that is 400,000 and like you can stay one, man. So that's one of the main challenges as well that I see lah. And okay.
We call it buy according to your affordability. Your loan eligibility might be one story. Because some they might have a sponsorship from their farmer, 200, 300k, right?
Yeah.
But the second one is if you go for a 1 million loan, and first one you already intend to go for your own stay.
Oh, that's very dangerous.
Yeah. Then your second, your third, by the time you want to invest, how to do it already.
Yep. You realize that how careful she mentioned all these kind of words, right? It's really it's really not right to buy your dream home as your first property. Seriously, don't do that, because you will need
myself, I don't. I'm not sure. For myself, I don't. Until now, I'm still renting, even though I have properties.
Keyword properties. IES. Yeah.
So it depends on how you. For me, I think I just want to maximize as much as I can. Because eventually, if let's say I'm not settled down yet at a certain place, I don't know whether I want to buy this place, this location for permanent stay. That is my own concern.
Yep. Maybe your other half got a mansion and also.
Yeah. Another one day I married to Sabah Sarawak, right? Not to say I'm single right now.
Okay. Cool. There was some awkwardness there. And so like, okay, let's talk about your very first property, right? Because you work in far cap, the benefit that comes with that is you get all the deals that you can get. Right? So I think
I don't need to study myself.
Correct. So like, by the time they recommend to you, they already know this one will make money. Then whether you can, the only key point is whether you can afford or not.
Yeah.
Right.
And your income.
So like, at what age you bought the first property actually?
4 years ago.
4 years ago. Okay, age
when
is a little bit.
Came back Malaysia that time lah. Terus buy.
Okay, so you go and agak lah. Okay, ladies a bit more sensitive towards age. Then I think you got the keys already like that.
The first 3 no, but the fourth one yes. Because the first 3 is under con. Then the fourth one is I bought a completed one.
So is it renting out or?
Yep, currently renting out.
Okay, so because my wife also is in the same line of a pharmacist, and I think after knowing her, then I realized that we have a lot of common friends. But the thing is, a lot of pharmacists, despite their very high salary, they dare not buy houses. Any like your peers? I think your peers are also.
I quite agree at this point. I think generally, they have their feel, we call it, when it comes to what's that feel. They don't know. First one, I think the common fear people facing here is that first they don't know where to start lah. Start with what location, where should I look at? I look at my own income, I cannot buy this. And after I know my loan eligibility already, I roll in and then I say, this property good or not? Not like you say, I look into 20. Then comparing 20 also can be a headache to them.
Yep. Absolutely. All people give up at 4.
Yeah. So the second one I think is income problem.
Okay.
But pharmacies not lah. I mean, those
Normal.
low income. Then the third one I think is their commitment.
Okay.
Commitment. It's either income too low or commitment too high. So they are stuck even though they want to buy property, but they stuck with their commitment. So what we call it is your bad debt hutang jahat is quite high, that it stop you from actually moving to the next step even you want to invest right now. So this one we are talking, we need to do a restructuring, debt consolidation.
That is one very valuable service that their team is actually providing.
Yep.
Like when you get enrolled into their team, right? Then they will look into your eligibility first. Before even proposing like what you want to buy, right? They need to know what you can buy first. Then before that is like, can you buy? So I think then they kind of resolve, because I'm in this line for very long, so I know what's my issue and things like that. So I ask her very specific questions. But then for people, they don't know, like they have a PTBDN loan issue like just now. They are crazily geared in their credit card debts. That's one of the worst one, right? Is it very common among your customers?
PTPTN, high utilization of credit card, personal loan.
Personal loan as well.
But you know, some actually the worst when it comes to not to say the worst, but the struggle a bit one commitment is they already enroll into AKPK.
Okay.
AKPK stands for what?
Agency Counseling Perbimbingan something. Because I also got enrolled before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This you also don't know. Yeah, I got into major debt issue for a while, but I came out from it lah.
Yep.
But then I came out from it, right? The worst thing is that they don't help housing loans, one. They help credit card loans only. And when I went in, after that, you cannot help me. And then I enroll for what? Then I go and ask for loan, right? Then the bankers will tell me, hey, you are in AKPK. But I didn't get any service. The only thing they did is they cut my credit card.
Oh, so you enroll because of just the credit card?
No, I enrolled because of the housing loan that I cannot pay. So, it was learning from the not so good one. So what happened after that of AKPK, right? I need to get a clearance letter from AKPK to send to the bank that I'm cleared.
Yep.
Something like the Cucuk Hidong now. Need to get the report that saying that I'm COVID free, only I get to go and do something, right? I think a lot of people, although they settled all the debt already, they didn't get that letter.
So basically, for AKPK in your CCRIS, whatever facilities, if let's say you enroll into AKPK, is you got the code K instead of O outstanding.
Yep.
So it's K. So anything with K, no matter your income currently is okay, you're eligible to buy this property, the bank will not
consider
grant
at
you
all.
Financing. Yeah, because AKPK. So it's we call it the most
the worst criteria for loan application.
Can't even submit a loan lah. So this one, a lot of people also don't know actually. Some of the things you can try to structure before you enroll into AKPK.
Yep.
Yeah, because AKPK, once you enroll, for you to pull out from it.
Oh, it's a long process. It took me like 8 months.
Yeah.
Although I pay full clean, they still need this they still need that Then I still don't know whether this department haven't approved Then oh my god.
Like let's say your case you already settled, right? The bank will still need, we call it a
buffer period,
cooling period, correct? At least 6 months like that. Better we will keep it for 1 year later after you enroll out. They will need to submit submit your loan to the bank. So imagine you enroll AKPK, you want to structure until you out of AKPK, and then until the moment you can submit the loan to the bank.
Okay.
The bull run is already gone.
Bye guys. So okay.
So yep. So for me, commitment, hutang jahat, all this, it's really. I mean, I learn a lot from my clients actually, especially those high commitment. They share with me a lot their struggle, how they have been through. Whatever they earn, 70-80% used to
clear debts only.
And we do have family, we do have to living expenses, all this. So on a daily when you
face clients like
face these debts, your life also not happy lah. So actually there's a few methods when we look into your profile and we dissect it, we advise you how should you do it. We advise you. So this one we call it a debt consolidation, a restructuring process. So this year you can't buy, doesn't mean next year you can't buy. But you must fix your own problem right now so that you prepare yourself at least in 6 months or 1 year later you can buy. But you need to know your own problem first.
Yep.
Yeah. So credit card is the most common, the basic one. So AKPK is the most
one of the drastic one.
Drastic teruk. This is commitment.
I wish I meet you earlier.
Then I think the fourth one, the common one, the fear is you are currently, just like myself, stuck with LTV 70% already. You need to use a lot of capital to buy the next properties. So the good thing here is that today HOC, and then if let's say you yourself manage to find a property which is more than 30%, and you think that is good, because you are doing your own research, it's totally different from other people doing their own research. You might say this property is good, but for me it's not.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
The data is very important. So FAR Capital actually, we look at comparing 100 of properties until we decide to invest in this
few
using our own 7 criteria.
Yep.
So far it never went wrong. And I'm quite lucky lah. Actually, in my current portfolio, everything is FAR Capital inventory also.
Of course, I would have done the same. I will pinjam money, go and buy some more. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
For me, it saved my time. I don't need to spend a lot of time on doing my own research, and then I justify whether am I buying the right properties. Yeah. So right now here is that we do all the research for you. You just have to read it.
Yep.
You just have to read, and then
absolutely
you compare. You try to think whether it's logic or makes sense or not. Then only there you found slowly. But you don't have to look at the whole Malaysia data and then from 1,000 you zoom it into 100 and then you compare one. Yeah.
I also won't do that. Don't say people. Me being so passionate, right?
Yeah. And then the second one here is that in terms of the, what we call it, the A to Z, from you don't know how to even start with a property investment until you get the key and the team actually manage your
property for you.
So it's from scratch until property management A to Z. I really save a lot of time and my own energy on doing this. Another thing here is that I'm not so good in managing my own tenant. So it's also fast free lah. You just
let your team do lah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So that's I think the major one. People fear where to start, don't know where to start, and even when they buy it, they don't know how to manage it.
That's why I realized, right, like your first property stories, right, it's one of the most easiest, one of the shortest. I just bought like that. Like, did you do a lot of research? Not like the previous guests, right? They will have a lot of stories around the first property. Like, I was pursued by this friend, and I'm gonna go to the sales gallery, I see this, and they tell me this. For you, it's like, okay lah. Like, I think this is really something that I will brief in a different segment altogether, right? But it's very rare to have companies that are doing this like what you do. And what I want to talk about right now is actually house keys. Right? House keys. When I bought my condo on the previous MCO, apparently there's a revised version already. So now they call it, don't know, V2, V3.
V4 already right now.
And now got V4 already. So can you like just bring us through like if I were to buy house key, right? What are the changes actually? Like when you buy.
First of all, for those they are not aware, house key is actually given by Maybank. So technically the advantage of you taking this house key versus normal commercial loan provided by this Maybank is first one, like my own scenario. I'm currently LTV 70, but I can't find a property which have more than 30% and all these. Then I go into house key project and I become the guarantor for a certain main applicant. So for example, normal commercial, you can't nominate someone to be the guarantor. And I submit the case like that. Hey, I want to use my sister as my guarantor to boost my income. No. But under house key, there's a main applicant and then there's a guarantor. So for example, back to my own case, I become the guarantor because I'm currently LTV 70%. And I nominate whoever currently have LTV 90%.
Fresh blood.
Good credit scoring, good credit profile to become the main applicant. And then we are holding the properties together under this house key. So the income and the good thing for this guarantor, your record, whatever, will not show in secrets. You just contribute the income if, let's say, this main applicant
not enough
income touch good.
Oh, wow.
And you are holding the properties as the owner. Yeah.
Because on a normal loan, it's very difficult unless you put both names into the... Now I think they only accept to put both names into the SPA and the loan application, right?
Certain banks still can do SPA 2 names, loan
one
either one. So for example, SPA A and B, loan A or B. So those... one tips also here, don't do joint loan as long as you really have no choices at all.
Yes. Nah, those lovers together don't. Okay, sorry. Got right.
So what we mean by joint name is SPA A and B. Your loan also A and B. So all your income you jumbo together, commitment jumbo together. But why we say no here is that both of your 90% gone already. Yeah. So next time when you want to invest each of you maybe left with 190%. If right now you are first 90%.
So A2 will have another 90, B2 will have another 90.
And one thing, if let's say I'm currently 90%, you are 70, I join with you, both jadi 70%. So don't do this mistake lah. One of it.
Wow. Cool. So I think now the new house key, it's also including a lot of MOT, all those kind of thing. And one last thing that I want from Rena today is like, if there's a young graduate, again, like a new pharmacist, for example, just graduated, work for government, they passed the what's the probation for pharmacists really? Call what really?
I myself also can't remember.
the first year of pharmacy they call... Anyway, but yeah, so like they passed their 2 years already, then now...
Fresh grad, generally.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean pharmacist, right? Fresh grad.
So like, what kind of habits they do? Like, must they have a credit card, or do they should... Like, what are the good habits that they should build their profile before even deciding whether to get a loan or not? What are the...
very good question. This one, I think, first one, like you mentioned, if let's say currently you are fresh grad, you don't own any commitment at the moment. So which also means your secrets report, your financial report is actually empty. We call it you are virgin. Your financial report virgin. So when the bank want to give you a loan, right, they don't interview you face to face. Right now they can't see you. So what they are referring to is actually your secrets report. So what they pull your secrets report and they see empty one. I don't know your payment habit I don't know how to judge you. Because everything empty based on your... But if let's say you at least have a credit card, then your payment everything 0, 0, 0, 0, at least for the latest 6 months. 0 means your repayment is sangat cantik bukan the lowest, the numbers, the bad. So you maintain at least for 6 months, you pay whatever that you use, then you build a record there, then at least you have a certain repayment record there already. For those that, let's say, in the next 1 year, you don't plan to get any properties, ASB financing also is a good idea because you do a forced savings at the same time.
ASB financing?
So it's either ASB financing or credit card. But ASB financing is more to the boomy
community.
So these two things.
Okay.
You let your secrets record empty or virgin, and then you thorough submit for the loan. The chances for the bank to actually reject you is quite high. I will not to say 100% the bank will reject you. But the chances is that back to the credit scoring part, if let's say your first stage, the credit scoring tak lepas ready, even though your current income, you already lepas your probation, all this is okay. But because of credit scoring tak lepas, you still can't get a loan. So those currently having PT, PTN in their secrets, one facilities, you are not considered virgin. You are still holding a certain loan, but make sure jangan lah berbelas or beratus bulan never pay lah.
Okay.
So any one of you currently have PT, PTN, bad record, fresh grad, like 50, 51, 52 in your secrets, you can call in to PT, PTN and check what are the total outstanding amount tertunggal we call for this 50 plus month. You just settle this amount.
Yep.
And then your secrets will be back to zero
Again.
Then this one is okay.
Okay.
With the settlement letter given by PTPTN, we can submit your loan already.
Okay.
But other than that, those legal record, blacklisted, you can't, or KPK, you can't. So you need to have a cooling period or 6 months to 12 months to record it, to cantikkan your secrets first lah. So these are the info, I think, for fresh grad.
Yep. So I think what we will learn, what we learn today actually very valuable. The thing about, like, when I speak to other mortgage people, those is divided into two types. One are mortgage people that deals with several banks, right? So some are that ties to one bank. So it's a very different in mindset and things like that. So what I really like about their services is they provide you solutions. Like, okay, now you cannot buy because this. Let's do this for the next 6 months. Then we will figure out what we can buy later. So, and I think that it's very, very cool on their side. And again, so I think that's all for today, right? And I believe if you have listened closely with the new audio setup, I think the previous guest one was not very good. But anyway, thank you very much again, Rena. And
one question for you, Ken?
Can, yes.
You can edit it live now. What's the main reason you enroll as FAR Capital client? I mean, for me, you are someone that already very experienced.
Yep.
You are in the property line for like close to 10 years ago.
Coming 12 already.
12 already, architect background, this until you already invested few years by yourself.
Yep.
What makes you want to become FAR Capital client?
Okay, so number one is because it's like relatives lah. Like my bosses in the makeover guys, they are very close to the founder. So when you listen to them, then I go and check them out. Then when I see the services that you guys are providing, like, I think it's very valuable for people who don't know anything about property. Like when I'm starting from scratch, right? Like me being in the industry for 12 years, if I were to design into a property, right, it's like that when I bought my property in Bukit Jalil. Then when my wife told me to open up that journey and share with everybody, then only I found out the main challenge for property purchase, right? It's not one decision, it's a marathon of decisions. Which location to buy, what you need to buy, then you buy high floor, low floor, medium floor, intermediate unit, corner unit, 2 room, 3 room, 3+1, what's the difference?
Haven't go into loan yet, wait.
Correct. So they pick everything already thinking that they can get the loan. Then when they go into the loan portion, oh no, I cannot. But then now, do I want to purchase or not? Because if I want to cancel, there will be a 500 ringgit administration fee. Then the agent don't want to reply me or whatsoever. Then do I add my wife's name in? Then the consideration of 90 and 90, then 90 and 70. What if in the future I want to buy more? Then the announcement of the new project next door. Oh, now do I change project? And am I buying at the right price and things like that, right? So all those didn't come across until I document them. And when I think myself as a new person, like the whole channel goal is to help and bridge that knowledge gap for seasoned and not new people. So when they come into the market, right, the very sad fact is that if you walk into a sales gallery today, you will buy things at market price. Like when you buy, for example, baju ke, watch ke, you walk into the boutique, right? You're buying at the highest price.
Yeah,
If
a
you
lot
go,
of people not aware actually this thing.
so you walk into a retailer or outlets, right? Those Mitsui outlet or whatsoever, you get the same object at 30-40%. And like what you say is true. A lot of people don't know that this is happening in property market as well. But just that it cannot be made public due to certain branding issues, like for developers, right? Like they are clearing stocks and things like that. The previous buyers would not then be very happy about it. Of course, not all developers are open to collaborate with bulk purchasers and our companies like ours. Okay. And it depends then also how confident are you in property as an investment asset? Like my financial planner, right? They look into my profile. They were surprised because my loading on risk for property is almost 100% of my investment. I don't invest in anything else. Only properties because I believe it in. Really believe in it, man. Then like normal people, they guess here, guess there, right? And me looking at properties almost every day, I still cannot get the data that you guys have. Because you guys are submitting so many different loans and things like that. And me coming from my own perspective, like I'm a hustler, meaning I do full-time job and I still have side gigs and I still have investment going on and things like that, then I can help myself get more properties. But then when a normal average Joe comes to me, hey, I have this problem, I don't know how
want to secure one property, your first property.
then I don't know how to help. Because, and the thing about this kind of property, especially what you do in mortgage, right? It's very dated. It means that today I made a video about house keys 6 months ago. Today it's not valid anymore.
Correct.
There's a new version for it. Then the video scrapped. Then people can now look at that video. Hey, Sean, you're wrong. But then it was right, and I can show you the proof of the documents that I signed. Then that gives a lot of value to why I should sign. So when I sign, right, it's really like I don't need to even think about getting the best price in the market for that particular property. Regardless whether I buy or not, I know that it's the lowest. So it's now really like, okay, when I look into the inventory, right, okay, I think A, B, C, D, E, F, okay, let's buy B lah. And I recently just bought another one. Again, we cannot disclose, but once you join, I can. So when I buy, and a lot of people then think, my wife also got pretty scared and worried, like, huh? You just bought another one? I thought you just bought 3 months ago. I'm like, yeah. And yeah, and then with the team of yours, you also help consolidate and things like that. Sean, why don't you apply this? Your team send, or we will send to this bank because why? This bank because why? The budget, the allocated budget for this project by this bank is higher and things like that. So all those it might sound very foreign to a lot of people, but I do see a lot of value. Then since day one, right, from the starting of the channel, right, a lot of people has been telling me about what Farcap and Faizul Rizwan, Faizul Rizwan has been doing, right? But a lot of people ask me to do the same, but I don't see any value. So secretly, the video has been, the channel has been done to complement whatever you guys are doing on. So like, let's say today you guys come across this project that you guys are doing research. Guess where you all will go? What's up, guys? Sean, then he will go keep seeing me around. That's how you bump into my channel as well, So I think it's working. But ultimately, I think the industry is big enough to have a lot of different services and profiles in the industry. That's why I really do see, and I really hope, right, like for those new investors who are really thinking of starting, who are like, maybe you have 2 properties already, you don't know how to proceed with your third one, you can really sign up. Of course, there will be a fee to what they do because it's a lifetime fee. Come to think about it, right? So generally what you're paying for, it's the research work, the consolidation work, the consultants, right? Like, then they will talk to you like, okay, what? And then all the materials are prepared on social media up for you to learn. I learn when my baby is sleeping. So I listen to their videos at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the midnight after my editings, right? Yeah, so that's how I keep myself updated. Like certain things I know, but I'm just not sure that it's the latest. And
that's why we revised the video technically last week, the new content, so that the clients can get an up-to-date information.
Yeah, lor.
So a lot of things is you might be asking if the client volume is a lot, right? With the current manpower, how to actually answer your question one by one.
Yeah.
So we do have, in terms of education, we do have already a recorded video for you guys to access whenever you are free. Okay, anytime. Then the second one here is that we do run 14 sessions of live on a weekly basis. Myself, Faisal, and the team.
Yep.
So whenever, let's say you are facing a mortgage problem, you just go to my session. Let's say you don't know where should you start, what should you buy. You just go into Faisal session on what to buy.
Yep.
So it's actually a lot of where, in terms of the session, the be it in the education or more to your own personalized case, you can actually get it quite a close interaction with us.
And I like
on
that
a daily basis.
And I like that it's self-driven, meaning like it depends on how active am I with you.
Correct.
Then only I get the answers that I want. All people will sit there waiting to be spoon-fed, then good luck. Right. And just to add on, like why I want to also sign up, right, is because normal average Joes will not be able to do the amount of research that you guys have.
Agreed. Yep.
It needs that certain level of passion to be researching, right? Like, okay, for example, a condo, I'm investing in a 2-bedder apartment. Not only comparing rental price around, I need to compare specifically the 2-bedders room rates across projects and different jalan. Like for example, this is Kambut, this is Mont Kiara, this is Bangsa South, this is KL. So streets like that will also cause a lot of difference and nuances to rental rates. And with what you guys have done has really saved me a lot of trouble. If not, I need to go iProperty, Property Guru one by one, check, then discount, count myself. Okay. Oh, my God.
And you never know that the last year, the last 2 years, or the last 4 years, how much is actually the discount rebate given by the developer lah.
Correct. So that's why the whatever and the only way you can get discounts in property purchase, unfortunately, there's only 3. One is auction. Right? So there has a risk that people cannot pay, and there's a risk that it's not favorable. The condition is not good, the feng shui is not good, whoever stays then goes bankrupt or whatsoever. Number 2 is buying as a group. I buy in bigger numbers, so the bulk effect comes into play. But then when cousin all buy together, they also got danger one. So like
agreed.
Uncle, sister, who all buy together, I got 5, then I got extra 2 or 3% discount. It's not up to what we can get. So bulk purchase is another one. So the third one is if you are somebody. Like I'm pretty confident if I walk into any developer, I can get max another 5%. I cannot get 10-20%. So that is when I know, okay, pretty much I'm getting the cheapest one. So it's whether I want to buy or not. But for a normal person who is no one, who is trying to break out from the circle to be the first investor in the market, in the family, the only way is to go for bulk purchase. But then this also gets the reputation for this kind of groups, right, got tarnished by the previous other people in the market. Then that comes with a certain stigma, like, these people all make money before you even buy and things like that. Yeah, so I like that it's not very salesy. Like the fact that I joined when they didn't know I'm the client.
I don't know.
So when we had conversations, right, then she was introducing the company to me. I'm like, hey, I'm your client. Huh? Really? Yeah. So to that extent, right, they don't really put in a lot of effort in like trying to know who, which celebrity is coming in. They use me to sell their services and things like that because they don't even know me. So that's a very good thing and what I really like.
I think to conclude is, especially first time investor or even myself, we do have a limited capacity. So first one is the time.
Yeah.
Where you spend like 100 hours, 1,000 hours to do
Research.
to even buy one property that you think is making you money.
Mm.
Second one, I think is the knowledge gap. If let's say you are really just stuck with the bottom, you don't know what you are doing. Technically, you are also unsure the research that you are doing is that a correct way or not. The knowledge gap. Then the third one, I think, is the networking, which myself, I don't think I have. But not everyone can do bulk purchase.
Yep.
I can't walk into the sales gallery and say, hey, I want to get extra 10%. You know, no such thing.
Yeah.
So it's the networking gap lah. So with these three combination, I think it's the main reason I think why you sign up as a client.
Correct. I think you just sum it up very. It's such a statement, right? You can conclude in 2 minutes. Why I use 20 minutes? But anyway, I guess that's all for today. Thank you very much, Rena. Thank you very much for watching. And if you really like this episode, right, like, share, and comment. And we have arranged a few more prestigious guests that is coming up into the show, and we hope more to come. And because of you guys, lah. Okay, so thank you very much. See you guys on the next one. Ciao.
Thank you.